you want to attend the next ARG regional event? Make sure you pre-register online at dragonballsuper-regionals.com. The next event is scheduled for the weekend of April 14th and 15th in beautiful San Jose, California. Need a place to stay for the event? Head over to super-collectibles.com and buy a ticket to the KitchenTableMeta Team House. For only $300, you get a private room for Friday and Saturday night, one-on-one coaching, dinner with the pro team, and much, much more.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Top 16 of the ARG Presents Regional Series here at beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm here again with my buddy George Machado.
What's up, guys?
Fantastic commentator and has done a fantastic job this event, by the way, buddy. It's been a pleasure, by the way, commentating
Thank
with
you so much, man.
I hope we get to do this again.
Yes, I'm super excited. I'm already, I've had a great time already, and the main event hasn't even started yet.
Nope.
So we got top 16 now. We're getting deeper and deeper to a very stacked top 32 that we had not too long ago, and about half of our competitors have fallen, and now we're sitting here with Christain Gillies, which I believe is on a team. I don't know who, because I'm pretty sure I've seen his name.
He's Christain Gillies on the left, playing blue-green Mecha Frieza on Team Plus Ultra Z. Fantastic. We've seen them in top 16.
That seems familiar.
Then we have, I don't know if you guys know about this guy, probably don't. His name is Anthony Hernandez. Just this like kind of run-of-the-mill, ordinary, random player.
Dark horse.
Don't even really know who he is. It's actually kind of insane that he made this far. Playing blue-red Vegeta. Obviously, Anthony Hernandez being a fantastic player and a member of the Four Horsemen. Right? Is that what the team is called?
Yeah,
Four
just
Horsemen?
coming off a second-place finish at the last ARG regional
just
with the same Vegeta deck. Blue-red, same color combination, and it looks like from this Beerus that he played down, same exact build maybe.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I'll tell you what's really cool, and again, I messed up and told the players to put them on the wrong side. That's my fault. Oh, no, I see. They actually just put the life on. Okay, I see. Never mind. Fantastic players, both players. Anthony and Christian both just being fantastic. We have kind of I hate to say it, we have a little bit of a skewed matchup here with Anthony Hernandez playing Blue-Red Vegeta versus Blue-Green Mecha Frieza. Honestly, Blue-Red Vegeta does have the advantage in this matchup, being probably one of Mecha Frieza's only bad matchups.
No, yeah, absolutely. Vegeta, a lot of people started playing Frieza again because they were like, everyone's going to shy away from Vegeta now with this whole new rule change of not inheriting the same special trait activation of critical specifically that Vegeta gets and is able to flip over and maintain that critical ability. So that whole play of being able to be at 5, self-awakening yourself, flipping over, and instantly being able to crit on the attack, that's no longer existent. Now you would have to activate the critical on the other side once again to actually sustain a critical ability on that swing. So, but Anthony taking a new playstyle with this Vegeta deck, I've been hearing that he hasn't even been utilizing the whole crit maneuver when he flips over. He just doesn't even crit himself. He just stays at 4.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So significantly worse on the other side, but he's playing the leader, I guess, to get some additional flip. Some additional power on his unawakened side, so that on his awakened side, it's just probably the worst leader, but
one of the worst leaders in a dual color deck, right? Like if you're playing mono blue, it's actually not that bad. He goes up to like 25k and some attack.
Mono blue deck was fantastic,
but
because it was like 20-25, right?
Yeah, I feel like this Vegeta was one of those leaders that Bandai just, and it happened. I mean, nothing against Bandai, obviously, but I feel like it's one of those leaders that Bandai didn't expect to be used the way he's being used.
Yes.
He's essentially just used as like this crit machine or a self-awakening machine, and not used that like mono-colored like game ender, which I think they kind of designed him to be, right?
Yeah, he just came out a little bit more powerful than I think Bandai expected.
Yeah.
But not too powerful. It's not something that has pushed other decks out of the format.
Right.
I mean, it did push Frieza to being less played because it just had a huge vulnerability to this deck, but it didn't make it totally obsolete. Mecha Frieza has been lingering around for the whole format.
And Vegeta's your typical, we call it jank killer, but it's like if your deck is not perfectly tuned, it just beats you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like if you build a deck, if you go home, you have an idea for an awesome deck, play against Blue-Red Vegeta a couple games. And if you just get wrecked, then you need to go back to the drawing board, adjust some stuff.
Yeah, not even about that sometimes. Like, Vegeta will just be like if you don't know the playstyle against that.
Right.
Like sometimes it's not even about the deck. It's just really about how you play against that matchup. And it is a unique way. I mean, a lot of times you find yourself throwing the 5Ks very early against this deck. You don't want to take those critical hits, especially the way that Anthony's been playing, and not critting on the other side. Because if you survive that early game,
it's such a smart idea, not critting on the other side. Because the big vulnerability of Vegeta is sometimes you take too much life and then you open yourself up for aggression. But if you set it for life and just use Vegeta as like, I'm going to self-awaken really quick, I'm going to match your awakening skills, and I'm just going to match your card advantage, it's pretty scary.
So Anthony taking the 4th life here. He's going down, the 5th life here. He's going down to 4. He's going to be able to awaken and do what he likes to do, which is draw some cards. His deck is based around the draw mechanic and being able to filter through his deck. The old Eddie St. Hilaire logic and deck building style seen here in Anthony's own little twist with Universe 10 Supreme Kai Gawasu.
Love this card.
Gawasu is fantastic in this deck, especially when you throw Beerus and a few more gods in there. Champa is a god, so you still have access to that.
Yeah, actually, this deck has all the Champas.
Yeah.
It has Beerus. It has Piccolo. It's a god. It has Gawasu himself.
Searches your best cards.
Yeah, it literally just hits almost the entire deck, which is absolutely fantastic.
No, it's super fantastic. And Christian actually, if I'm not mistaken, was able to awaken before Anthony on this game.
Yeah, but Anthony's been able to awaken the turn after, so that's what you want. You know what I mean? As long as you're not behind Mecha too much, you can usually keep about even.
Do we know who went first on this one?
Actually, we don't.
Oh, well.
We don't. I think I was too busy doing my intro.
Yeah, I was too busy with Jim talking about Bandai stuff. I cannot wait for that interview, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
for Jim to jump on.
That's actually true.
Because there's some exciting things that he just finished telling me, and I'm just like,
holy crap!
Like just at a kid in a candy store. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to go home and tell my parents about this.
Bandai. Jim should be on around right after like top 4 probably going into finals. We're gonna get him on. He's doing some stuff at the event right now, and you guys want to come in, ask him questions about the future of the regional series, what Bandai has in store. You obviously can't answer all questions, right? There might be some stuff that's still.
We'll be here all day. I could talk to Jim all day too. Sometimes I got to be like, all right, Jim, like I can't talk to you anymore. I'll literally leave Dusty here commentating. I had to run over here and be like, oh snap, time to get on air. But very interesting, man. So much knowledge.
Look here, man. What's going on, bud? Hey, can you make an announcement?
Been here.
Okay, guys, sorry about that.
Not very fond of a lot of some of our players just leaving trash all over the place. So we had to just
we had one of the security guards
apologize on their behalf. I guess even though we have nothing to do with the event, but hey, we'll act like we do. Yeah, we look like we run the whole event.
Always good to be respectful as much as we can.
Absolutely.
So, we had a security guard jump up, so we apologize, guys.
So a few things happened here. Anthony down to 3, Christian to 4. It looks like he has his drop zone like fanned out really weird. That threw me off.
Yeah, it does a little. Yeah, but Christian playing down a Cobalus, I like this play because Cobalus not very good against Vegeta.
Not very good.
Not very good. So I like this play.
And you need a yellow. Even though he had a yellow already, it looks like he might have only just had that choice. But usually you just want to have one yellow in the second, you're fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless he's playing some spice, who knows? But like the Mecha Frieza, the 4-drop Mecha Frieza, which actually I'm a fan of. But I don't know. I don't know if the space warrants it being able to be included into this deck, because there is barely any space in this Mecha Frieza's shell.
Yes.
And by shell I mean like 12 event cards and
4 objection, 4 Banaka.
Yeah, the 4 Dodoria, obviously the 4 Friezas. There's just so little space.
Alrighty, guys.
So Anthony here to, what does he have? Like 3 energy?
Anthony
No
only had
board
3.
presence?
Yeah, only have 3 energy.
He must have
Interesting.
a small novel in hand. Like he must.
You know he has to have so many cards in hand. It's almost
His hand is just
guaranteed.
out of reach for us, actually, so we're not going to be able to count those. But actually, telling by his hand, he usually has double sleeve cards.
Uh-huh.
So, oh, there we go.
lot of cards,
I
man.
want to say like 8. Okay, so Christian took the
Golasso hit.
Golasso hit.
So it's 3-3, guys. We'll make sure we in between games, we'll have George go over and move the life down. That way we can see
Yeah.
him next turn. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry again for the interruption, guys. We really apologize. Again, the event staff came up and talked to us. Obviously, they're not aware of what streaming is and that kind
We're
of thing.
live,
so,
actually.
Yeah, so
as a matter of fact.
we definitely always want to do a good job at these events. All right, Anthony going to 2 life here.
Okay, 11. Sorry, guys.
And attacking 15,000 critical. And Christian going to negate. All right, Christian still keeping a yellow up.
Representing a cold bloodlust, we don't know if he has it exactly, but it's always good because Anthony actually does play some bombs in here. So it's actually, the bloodlust is not as bad as it normally is against Vegeta because you see Anthony going a little bit deeper with Beerus and Jiren.
Uh-huh.
So he actually he'll get to 5 energy a lot. And that's really when his deck will shine. Other Vegeta decks like the Eddie and Marcel Special, they thrive off the 2-3 energy. But here, you see Anthony going a little bit deeper, and this ability, Unleash Gohan, is going to go and give Anthony another card to add to his arsenal. Looks like he had 10 or 11 cards last time stream checked. Like I said, it's kind of out of the reach, so it's kind of hard to count and double check, but last time stream counted, it was about 11. So
Yep. This Gohan being a powerful card in the current in Vegeta deck because it draws him another card. It's just more card advantage. And that's one thing Vegeta lives or dies by, and that's card advantage.
Yep. Untapping a red here, so it looks like we might see a follow-up Saiyan Kaba. He'll most likely keep the blue up to represent a Sensu Bean or to represent a Negate, if he is playing Negate.
Now,
in the main
I
board.
wonder if Anthony plays out Kaba, I wonder if he will Cold Blast it.
I think you do here because you have the yellow open. The thing is, you might use that energy to use a 10k. The thing is, Anthony's really pressuring. He really wants to get this 1 damage in, even though it doesn't seem like a lot. He just wants to get it in. That way, Christian is at 2.
Right.
And if Christian's at 2, he's literally going to die to almost anything because you have a double strike Champa as combo and you
Yep.
have Saiyan Kaba.
Yep.
So you get him to 2, then you dedicate your
Also
whole hand.
Jiren.
Anthony still has a bunch of cards in hand. Like he just like
Mass Saiyan.
or you could just Mass Saiyan. That's a thing. Instead of Kaba, now you have Mass Saiyan, which essentially does the same thing but with a 20k body. You don't get that extra card from your life like Kaba would give you.
Right.
But at least it's something that it's going to get in for a lot bigger base than Kaba would. Kaba getting in at 15, Mass Saiyan here getting in at 20. So you don't, it looks like Christian might be thinking about a Bloodlust here. You see it in his hand, actually. I think you might just Bloodlust here, actually. If Christian still is at 3. Is he still at 3, or did he comboed out of the Gohan? Okay. So there's the Bloodlust, 100%. Now it saves him his Gohan, and it saves him 2 life.
Yep, which is important against matchup. Every little advantage matters in this matchup.
Yep, and Anthony's gonna here use some combo cards to untap some energy and maybe still even have a Saiyan Kaba follow up.
It's possible. It's possible.
And if he does, then that's gonna spell trouble for Christian because he is tapped out.
And I'll be honest with you. When you're tapped out against Vegeta, it's the scariest moment of your life.
Scariest.
It's the scariest moment that you've ever been in your life. Because you can literally lose it. And he's going to take it. He has to. It goes to 2. And here we go. Will we see Kaba coming out? There it is. I'm trying to take a look at Christian's hand. I don't think he has anything. I think he has 1 Goku maybe in hand. He can combo. He can go to 20 here. think Christain using that Bloodlust might have been a little ambitious.
Yeah.
I think you have to let your Gohan die. You have to, because he has a Sensu Bean in hand, but actually he couldn't use Sensu Bean because he doesn't have a blue open.
I mean, unless he had a negate.
Actually, he could use a life here. He can use a life here and ready 2 energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Sensu Bean.
Yeah. So he actually, for some reason, players play Golden Freeze. Like, I'm out of this.
If he didn't have Sensu, that's fine. It really just depends on Christian's hand. If he has a negate, fine. If he has a Sensu Bean, fine. But if he doesn't have any of those, then terrible.
If he decided to go in here, giving him 15,000.
All right, Kaba, like I said. So Kaba's going to threaten lethal here, and he's just going to dump, and this should be game. I don't see Christain having enough combo to get out of this. Even though I think he has a negate in hand.
But he can't use it, he's tapped out.
Does he have 1 life or 2 life?
Oh, he did, yeah, you're right.
Are we sure that he has 2 life?
Yeah.
Probably, right?
Well, maybe he has 1. But no, I think there's a card right here on the corner. Yeah,
yeah, there should be into yeah.
Also, if he had 1 life, you... All right, goes the 1.
Oh, yeah, he untapped too many energy. Yeah, it was only 2 energy because he was tapped out.
Yeah, right. And he goes Sensu. Okay, got me.
Yep.
Jeez.
Insane.
Guys, it's really important to notice that this matchup is actually, I'm not going to say extremely favored, but it's definitely favored.
Quite favored for the Vegeta
player. And not to take anything away from Anthony. Anthony played amazingly. I mean, he played very well. Made no play mistakes that game. Played very, the way you're supposed to play.
That was the game plan, and he executed it perfectly.
He did, absolutely. But like I said, it can rattle you as a Mecha Frieza player whenever you look and say, you know what, man, like this deck is already not a bad matchup. I'm playing against Anthony, who's doing fantastic in the last couple events. How do I beat it? What do I do?
I mean, it's hard. If you're in Christian's shoes, you're already playing a very vulnerable deck because it's a deck that's doing half your opponent's job for them. You're taking 4 life, and you're taking it just out of your life, and there's not really a way around that. I mean, post-board, maybe you can take some event cards out and then just play a little bit of a slower game. But if you're playing a slower game, then Vegeta's really going to punish you here. So you're at a loss here where it's just really just looks bad from all different angles. And it just really depends on your playstyle. You got to really value those 10K pumps that summon themselves. You really have to value those cold bloodlust, and you really have to bloodlust at the right moment. You can't leave yourself tapped out a lot. There's ways to beat it. I'm not saying that Vegeta is 100% win rate, because when we were testing Vegeta, I would lose the mecha against some of my players because they knew exactly what Vegeta was about.
Exactly.
You know exactly what windows you need to stop. You know exactly what turns you need to survive. You know exactly what turns you need to block.
I think one of the most important things when you're playing Mecha Frieza is you have to play it a little bit differently. And I say this a lot about Vegeta, but Vegeta is a very good deck, but it's, I feel like, only good in most situations because players don't adapt to it.
Yes.
They go, I'm playing Mecha Frieza, I'm going to go Objection, I'm going to Awaken on turn 2, and here we go. And it's like, well, you just hit yourself to 4, and that's a big problem. So I think what the Mecha Frieza player needs to do is slow down a little bit. Vegeta's going to try to awaken you. You know what I mean? So you don't have to get ahead of him. Just slow down. Keep those Occupation Frieza combo cards in hand. Keep your super combos in hand. Your Sensu Beans, your negates. Wait until you build up a really good defensive hand, and then awaken and start being aggressive.
The thing is, you just need to interrupt some big turns sometimes. You just need to you need to know when your opponent's really pushing it. It's really hard sometimes because your opponent really doesn't know exactly, for example, when Anthony only had 1 energy or 2 energy up or something like that, or 1 energy, even 1 energy, like the Mass Saiyan comes out for 1 energy, you're tapped out, you're like, okay, as a defending player, you're like, okay, he's tapped out, this is the last play that I need to stop, and then we pass a turn, and then I go to the next turn. Next thing you know it, there's an Unyielding Spirit Trunks untapping an energy, then you got a Sensu Bean untapping another energy, you're back to 2 energy, now your opponent has 2-3 more plays that they can do. And because it's a deck that really relies on combos and combo effects, like Sensu Bean and Unyielding Spirit Trunks, and even the Piccolo, it really depends on the Piccolo a lot, but you can see how dependent it is on that because it has cards that search it. So it's just really hard, honestly. It is. You got to know what they got to be able to do.
You have to play differently. You cannot play the same way. You have to change your game plan. You have to understand that you're against Vegeta, it's going to be a different ball game. It's going to be quick games. It's going to be tight games. All right. Our player is almost ready to go. right, guys. Shaking hands, getting this started. We're going to send George over right now real quick to fix their life total so we can catch up a little bit better. Brackets. Guys, we weren't able to get any information on brackets. I'm sorry. I don't think they've done the brackets yet. But I don't know that for sure. We got up, we walked over to talk to them, and they immediately gave us the top 16 pairing. So we walked over, set that up, and sat down and did this. So there was no time in between to talk about brackets or anything. We didn't hear anything about brackets.
I do have the bracket for you, guys. So
what I meant to say was George has a bracket, and we're about ready to give it to you. So
because George is the best, and he looks out. But yeah, a lot of the judges here, they're actually understaffed. They had a lot of people for Vanguard, Pokemon, a lot of these other games, which is fantastic because I thought a lot of those players were just playing Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball was so huge this weekend.
Right.
So it's actually just more Dragon Ball players are just popping out everywhere, and you got people that play other games still playing those games. So big shout out to everyone that's here. Actually, it's a packed house. It looks like a Saturday up in here. And Sundays at ARGs are usually really dead, but there's, I want to say well over like 600 people in this room. You want to try using my phone? I don't know how you did that, but I think I have tethering.
Yeah, well, let's, this is like let me try to unplug it, plug it back. But we're still recording, so let's actually do the thing.
Okay.
Again,
we can fix it after this round.
Right.
Yeah,
we'll try to at least.
Damn, your bill's gonna be destroyed.
We're trying, buddy.
But yeah, we do have the bracket for you on YouTube that are watching this because our stream just cut out. Dusty's mobile plan is now extinct. Moment of silence.
Yeah, moment of silence, guys, for
it's
mobile
dead.
plan.
It's dead. Maybe by the time this video is up, maybe there'll be a Patreon funding the $3,000 bill.
It's down. If you don't want to tell in the stream chat that I hit my limit. I hit my data limit, boys. We're sorry. I tried. I got us to top 16. Not too bad.
Right?
Not too bad, boys. We did as many as we could. We'll try our best to find a way to at least stream the finals. But regardless, guys, you know you can always find this in high definition quality.
I got a little sword next to my name. Thanks.
You're welcome. I got you.
It looks so official.
You look cool.
Before I was just like a random scrub posting in your chat.
I'm gonna take it away immediately, but it's fine. All right, guys. So here we go. We apologize. Back into the game. We're just trying to alert the community, let everybody know that the stream went down and that we are sorry. Here we go. Christain going to try to get this game back. Going to try to go and get a win, which is very important. If you can win one game, I always try to tell everyone, win one game at a time. And I think Christain needs to do that, recoup, play this game a little bit differently, try not to awaken as quickly as he did last time. But again, already been on the 5 life. I think this is a little bit of a misstep against Vegeta. You have to kind of let Vegeta kind of pressure himself with his life and take advantage of it after that. And I feel like, Mecha Frieza players, it's easy to get, I'm sorry, he's at 7. It's easy to get into that situation where you're like, I'm going to play this card, do this card, I'm going to do the same thing I always do. And I feel like against Sawyer made top 8. Awesome. So Sawyer top 8.
Nice.
KitchenTableMeta top 8.
KTM in top 8. Yeah. Are the other boys still playing? Some of them out yet?
Yeah. Maybe the top 8 prize will be more data.
Maybe. We can only hope.
I apologize. Guys, I really am sorry. All right, guys, we're going to get back into this game here. Anthony at 4 life. Guys, sorry for the little bit of a delay in this match. We're trying our best to alert the community of what happened, but we're going to try our best to find a way to make the stream go back up for at least the finals. We'll scramble and see if I find a way to make up the finals. So still kind of talking like we're live, which we're not. So by the time you guys hear me saying this, you'll already know they're live on YouTube. So that's my fault. All right, Anthony, going to awaken here. Draw 2 cards. converts awaken 4 health to 4 health. In this situation, I feel like Anthony is again still favored. Your opponent being at 4 life, it's actually not too hard for Vegeta to go through the life. Anthony going to play out Manipulating God Champa. Look at the top 7, pick a Champa card. Really, really, really wanting to hit a further destruction Champa here, which he does get. Let's see what happens. So Anthony having this card right here, it gives an ability to give any of his cards double strikes. Right now, he's using it to give a Vegeta crit, goes to 3 life. Whether or not he'll give this double strike or not is we will see. I do feel like it's a good play. It puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. We'll see what he decides to do. 25k double strike. We'll see if Anthony is going to use a Trunks to ready the energy. Again, guys, important to remember, Anthony only at 2 energy here, and still, in the position to possibly put his opponent to 2 life. Again, why it's important if you're playing Mecha Frieza not to awaken yourself extremely quickly. You need that life buffer in order to slow Vegeta down. Anthony going 15, 25, 30, 40k, critical double strike, going to 45k, go to 50k.
He really wanted us to get this attack through, but Christian does have 2 untapped energy, so he wants to make sure that the number is right to the point where Christian is literally even hell-bent on just not taking the hit and just dedicating so many cards, or that the attack just goes through. So hopefully, it looks like Christian is set his mind to not taking this attack. We see a Dodoria come down, but I think it's not going to be very efficient unless he has a second one, and there it is.
Yeah, he still has a long way to go. You have to imagine.
That's the only leverage that he has, right, I think, to actually efficiently blocking this attack. So thank God he had those 2. Now here comes some 10Ks out of his hand, but it looks like there's a lot of events in his hand. He has Cold Bloodlust, negates. I think a Monaka in there too. It's just. I don't even know if you keep in Monaka against this matchup, honestly. The Crusher Ball was a good side-in, but it's in his energy. So hopefully he has more copies or draws more copies.
We see Jocko too. Jocko, a big card in this matchup.
Jocko will be pretty big, yeah. He's going to have to throw the Jocko.
Unfortunately, though, all these cards suck to Jocko, right? They're all so good for Anthony. So my guess is you maybe pick the double striker.
I'm also not quite sure why Christian,
yeah, he does.
Could really charge cards like this, but 10, 20, 30, 35, 15.
Yeah, so 15,
50.
20, 30, 40, 50. Now. 50 to Anthony's
10, 20,
30, 45.
30, 45,
yeah, so perfect.
Great. Feels bad, man. I wanted to see Anthony Hernandez get destroyed. Now I can't because he won't make it to top 8. Well, he actually might because, like I said, the matchup is just definitely in Anthony's advantage here, and it looks like Christian may not have too much experience with this Vegeta deck.
Right. Yeah, like I said, we'll see what happens here, guys. Anthony, in a brilliant spot, doing a great job pressuring his opponent at the right times.
I don't know if you want to probably open up another window and start making the challenge bracket, because I have the bracket, but we would actually have to make a challenge bracket. I can ask for
we can try. Okay. We can try. Yeah, maybe we'll try that.
Do you want to use? Do you have a challenge, or do I have?
Usually they make it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to. I don't know.
They don't. I'm gonna. Actually, I could go check, and if they're not gonna make it, we can make it or something. Because I have the bracket here, but I only have a picture. I could also probably send you the picture, and we can.
Yeah, maybe.
We could show it on. I don't know.
I'm so sorry, guys. The stream went down. I also apologize to everybody on YouTube right now. I'm sorry, guys. I'll let you guys down. I'll try to find a way to get it back up.
With things like this, you're always going to run into technical difficulties, I guess. And it's all about damage control. So We're going to try our best to fluently give you all this information with the limited resources that we are provided.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're trying, man. Yes, again, sorry. Trying to find a way to get this situated. All right, Christian putting a lot of pressure on Anthony with just this.
Yeah, that Gotenks is going to put in a lot of damage just because it takes combo pieces from Anthony's hand. It's going to help actually throw some of those cards that Anthony wants to keep for a big combo, and I think this is the only way really to beat Vegeta. You got to pressure them,
right.
Especially if Anthony's at 3 life. Oh, and going down to 2. He's taking that. So it looks like Anthony might be planning to go for game this turn.
Again, like we said,
I don't see any other way.
Right. Like
that he
said,
takes his energy.
Vegeta lives or dies by card advantage, right? And so
Yes.
whenever you're getting tapped by Gotenks, you can't afford to dump too many cards to stop it. You have to take it. You have to understand, like, I have to take this. It stinks, but I have to.
Yeah. So Anthony here just is going to take a good amount of time just thinking about this turn. This turn might take a little bit longer than average just because this is how Vegeta just plays out sometimes. Their big turns are just, you're going to see at least 8 to 10 cards just being played as far as either combos go or as far as, like, cards that he casts go. You see a Destructive Terror Champa here. The 6-drop going down into the energy, and Anthony critting himself down to 1.
Jeez, going to 1 life.
He's going for game.
I love watching Vegeta play. It's like one of the funnest decks to watch play because it's just like, it's so like, I want to hurt myself and try to kill you. It's just so like,
Anthony's got
aggressive.
I think Anthony might have like close to 15 cards in
It's just so many cards.
And this is where things might get a little bit ugly for Christian.
Say what, guys? Let's see what happens here. Christian down to, Anthony down to 1 life.
Yep. A Mass Saiyan hitting the board. One of the most powerful Overwhelm creatures, inherently with Double Strike here, so you don't even have to worry about having cards that give you Double Strike, like the Further Indestruction Champa. For 1 energy, you're getting it all. You're getting a Double Striker with a 20k body and some removal to sprinkle right on top of that. Just a Vegeta player's best friend.
The Vegeta player's best friend.
I actually haven't seen too many, or if any, Time Patrol Trunks from Anthony. It looks like he's dedicated all his Overwhelm to Mass Saiyan, and I don't even think I've seen a Mira either.
All right, guys, I think we have everything situated as much as we could. Let everybody know what happened to the stream. We're going to be in here, finish up this match, let you guys know what's going on. So Anthony doing a good job here, putting pressure on Christian's last remaining life, for life, coming in with 25,000 double strike. Anthony, I think, deciding to still combo a little bit, trying to figure out probably what he wants to combo in hand. Down to 1 life, that tells me this is the turn he's trying to go in.
Yes, no, 100% this is the turn that he's going to go in. Now, the combo is going to determine whether he wins this game or he loses this game, because it's all in Anthony's combo. He is in direct control of whether how many resources does he want to pump into each card? How many resources does he want to pump into each threat, to the point where Christian's put in a position where he exhausts all his resources. Now, Anthony forcing out Christian to tap out his last standing energy, which was a blue, into a Destructive Terror Frieza. I mean, like, obviously, Christian's not technically topped out because it's Mecha Frieza.
Right.
Oh, he's not going.
He's gonna pass.
He's gonna pass.
I think it's probably unreasonable on 2 energy. He can deal 4 damage. But
okay, so this is telling me a few things. Anthony Hernandez has some Raging Attacker Gohans in hand.
Absolutely has Gohans.
He has some Sensu Beans in hand.
All 3.
And he probably doesn't have any more Unyielding Spirit Trunks here. And he most likely has another Overwhelm card next to him.
Yeah, or maybe he has some combos and stuff too, where he doesn't really want to. All right, Christian. Taking his time here, trying to figure out what he wants to play out his energy. Has to be careful because literally playing the wrong energy here could actually lose him the game. Tapping the wrong energy at the right time, at the wrong time, could also make him lose the game. I mean, this matchup is so tight for Mecha that he has to be extremely efficient to what he does here.
Yeah, so this Justin falling to Vegeta.
Oh, who Justin
So
play?
multiple Vegetas in top. Justin was playing the Buhan. Buhan player out.
Yeah, but who was he playing against? That's what I meant.
I have no idea. A Vegeta player.
I hate to see the Buhan deck not do well because that deck was awesome. I thought it was sweet.
Man, but I didn't even think there was more Vegetas in top cut other than Anthony. So Juan, the last standing hope for PBG.
Our boy Juan.
Hopefully still in it. Not sure. I haven't seen him, so he's probably still in it because I know they don't let their players. I know that they don't let the players leave the top player area until their match is completely over. So
Christian actually has a lot of threats out here right now, though. He has literally two 15,000s and a 25,000. It's crazy the amount of threats that Christian's playing out, like essentially for free. He has a Frieza and a Trunks that essentially both came out. Obviously he had to play for the Frieza, but he paid for his opponent's turn. It's just insane the amount of threats.
Christian's on go mode. He's got a. Oh, did he end his turn?
Did he end his turn? I mean, yeah, I guess he did. I feel like not attacking with Trunks is somewhat of a misstep.
Yeah.
You might as well get a card out of Anthony's hand, even if it's a Piccolo. At least that's one Piccolo down. But maybe he just didn't want to give him a Gohan.
Yeah, I don't know. Yep, there's the Gohan.
Yeah, that's a real smart play by Christian.
So
maybe
he did
Christian
have
just
the
didn't want to
Gohan.
give him the Gohan. He
Yeah.
just wanted to play around a second Gohan. I mean, he knows Anthony has a Champa in hand because he gave the Champa back to Jocko. So yeah, maybe he's just.
So what happened to the Trunks?
He just passed and let it die. Like,
Are you sure? Because Anthony just summoned the Gohan, and yeah, he was attacking with the Destructive Terror Champa.
He must have comboed in with.
He must have comboed, yeah. Okay.
And guys, sometimes it's hard for us to tell what's going on when players don't make motions because we can't hear what they're saying. So Christian down to 3 life. 3-1. All right, 15,000 to 15,000 here.
Man, I don't know if I like that turn from Christian.
It's one of those things where it's really tough playing against Vegeta. You have to be really careful, George, because it's like you feel like if you play too much stuff, you're going to lose because you have nothing to defend yourself. But if you don't put enough pressure on Vegeta, it's impossible to win.
Yeah.
So you have to put enough pressure on him to get some cards out of his hand, so you essentially have defense as well. It's not like Super Saiyan Gotenks so well in the matchup. It lets you put a threat out and ready energy, so it's kind of like does both. Let's see what Christian can do here, though.
Looks like they have around 18 minutes left in the round. Anthony should be winning this game. I mean, I don't see any way that he doesn't. He's at 1 life, so he's maximized the amount of cards that he saw in his hand. He still has a small novel in hand, and it's just Vegeta's so far ahead, I feel like. He's got infinite cards in hand. Christian with a lot of events in hand. He does has 3 untapped energy, but that's really about it. I don't see him have too much defense in his hand. I don't even think I see a Dodoria. Does Christian have a Dodoria? I don't think. I think he'd used them earlier to defend that combo. He used 2, and I don't think he's seen one since. And if you're Anthony, you got to be feeling a little bit good. I don't know how many Piccolos he's gone through, but I think Anthony went through at least 1 Piccolo. But then again, Anthony's seeing more cards.
Absolutely.
He's seeing a lot more cards, so he's inherently just going to see more Piccolos. He's inherently going to see more of these threatening cards. And like I said, another Overwhelm card. We knew that he had it because he had passed turn without doing much last turn.
Yeah.
And you saw him dedicate a lot of
Killing
cards.
that Super Saiyan Gotenks is devastating.
Yeah, that's
It's
super devastating. There goes Christian saving grace. He really needed to survive this turn and live with a Super Saiyan Gotenks. And
Right.
without it, I feel like the possibilities of him winning have just decreased tremendously.
Absolutely. That's what I mean. It's like these overwhelm cards have changed the meta so much, and I don't think people realize exactly how much they've changed the meta.
Yeah.
You know, I think every time I see one of these overwhelm cards play, I'm just like, that card's so good. Like Mass Saiyan, Trunks, they're just fantastic. And we've seen a handful of Trunks we played, as it turns out, through the stream this week.
So much, and
Yeah.
it's crazy how little of it we've seen since then. I don't think I saw many in
The top cuts?
yeah, like in today. Like we didn't see much in Scotch's.
Yeah, Scott seems like he
And
just
I don't think in
put Mass
Patrick's
Saiyan in.
either.
Yeah.
Patrick might have not even resolved one either. I know Christian's played like at least one or two. Anthony's played 0. What you are seeing is the masked man,
Coming in.
the masked Saiyan himself,
I like that
coming
play
in.
by
And
Anthony. I like it.
do you?
Yeah, he's just trying to clear threats out, right? He's just trying to, like, because he has one life. And so,
But like, if you're Anthony, aren't you like trying to go for game here?
I don't know. Again, can Anthony go for game here? His opponent's got three cards in life. Like, you hit him here, knock him, put 2 cards in his hand, then you have like 2 more cards to fight through to do 1 more damage with 2 energy. It seems kind of rough.
No, I just feel like you hit your opponent for 1 and then
Well, I think
You
he tried.
Mass Saiyan.
Well, he tried to, and then he couldn't.
huh?
He tried to hit him for 1, but then like Christian
He blocked.
defended.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
defended. So yeah, I think he used Mass Saiyan
yeah,
as like
that
a
Dodorian in the
removal.
grave. Yeah, the Dodorian in the drop zone shows at least 3 exhausted from Christian already. Right, because he played 2 earlier and then 1 here.
Uh-huh.
When are they starting?
I entered with around
Oh, okay. So you have like
20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's 20 minutes in 1K time. Okay, I thought that was like I thought that was like top cut time.
All I know is they found a wall that's 40, so I'm like, it's more than likely it's going
All right, we have 15,000. Christian
You don't have
going
to worry about that
into
now. You're not gonna go
what we
anywhere.
imagine would be Vegeta, but we can't quite see.
Do you know if Juan
Going
is
into
still
the
in?
go on. Okay, so Christian's cleared as many threats as he can, playing this kind of as slow as possible. And there's no Super Saiyan Gotenks. We'd love to see this. Super Saiyan Gotenks, an
Can you do me
incredible,
a favor
an
and
incredible
see if
card
the
in this
last
matchup.
TCG player is still playing in top 16? Yeah. Like right now? Trust right now? Oh,
25,000 double strike into Anthony's 1 life. And there's Piccolo. Now, Piccolo only meets Super Saiyan Gotenks. He has to use another card out of his hand in order to stop it. Christian with, again, a pretty defensive hand here.
I don't know, man.
Drew, I think you're doubting this Mecha Frieza player.
Huh?
So I think you're doubting this Mecha Frieza player.
I am. Well, no, I'm doubting Mecha Frieza, and I'm really just. I don't know why Anthony's just hasn't gone harder in. Like, you need to pressure the Mecha Frieza more, because I see Christian's. I mean, maybe because I know Christian's hand.
Right.
And Anthony doesn't
Exactly,
see. He sees
exactly.
like 5 or 6 cards.
Yep.
I see like they're all events. I'm like, why aren't you pushing harder?
That's one thing I've noticed a lot when I do these videos. Is like in the comment section, people are like, "Why don't you just go in? He can beat him." It's like, yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, he
Like,
doesn't know that.
He
And
doesn't know that he
that's
can do
what
that.
being
Right.
on this side. Sometimes you just gotta like clear that out and be like, I don't know what's in his hand. Just
Yeah, honestly, streaming these events really helped me a lot against Mecha Frieza.
Yeah.
Because I see how many times they actually
100%,
have a
yeah.
lot of events in their hand. I'm just like, I think they might. I'm gonna call it bluff. You
And
know,
then
I'm gonna
other
go for it.
times you see like Patrick's game where he has that huge combo, and you're like, damn, they
Yeah,
could have
I
had
know,
that
right?
against me.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So,
Yep.
I mean, it goes both ways.
Absolutely,
It's usually not the latter. You know, it's usually just like, okay, they have a bunch of events in
They
hand.
usually have a pretty even mix of extras and battle cards.
But then you look at Christian's energy, and maybe you look at his discard. You got to start counting cards. You know, sometimes it's all about the card counting, and knowing like what your opponent has exhausted, what he hasn't exhausted. Look at his energy. It's one event card. Like, you know, he has some cards that he can use to combo at the very least in his energy. And I feel like sometimes you just got to charge those events early, and then just like, you know, you don't want to keep like one or two events in your of some events in your deck. Sometimes you just want to like. You want to be able to see them, but I feel like you're playing 4 copies, and you'll eventually see more multiples. And sometimes you keep it in your hand, and then you draw the second one, and you're like, "Damn it!"
I wonder in this matchup, and again, I'm not familiar with Mecha Frieza, so I could be just completely wrong here. I wonder if in this matchup, it's okay to sideboard out a lot of your extra and just put in more defensive cards.
Sometimes.
And just play like a more Soul Striker type match where you're just playing extremely slow, and you're just trying to grind your opponent out with.
Essentially, that's what you try to do the best, but. Some events you just need, obviously, Sensu being weak Crusher Ball. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, the Bloodluster
are out. Do you think you need
objection
in the deck? Do you think Christian needs objection in this matchup?
No.
Yeah, you think you just sideboard that out?
Yeah, I think so. Because think about it. Objection is neg-1ing yourself, right?
Which is terrible against Vegeta, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
I just didn't know. I mean, again,
you're losing cards. It's an event. If you see it late game, like, bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Yeah,
bless you, my child.
It seems like some of these games could literally be like, I mean, like the last game we saw, like Christian had like 2 objections in hand, I think. And it just, I mean, obviously that's game 1, so there's not much he can do about it. But it seems like there's a situation he could put himself in here where he like the doors into objection, just loses. You know what I mean? And like, I just feel like you don't want that card in your deck.
Now,
but
Christian,
maybe he thinks it's important.
Christian might be able to win here. What? Okay. I don't know. I think you attack with the Gotenks first, see what your opponent has, then play the KO. But you don't want to like lay down on. That's like putting down all your creatures and then attacking all at once.
Right.
You know, like
you
want to just like one by one. Yeah, exactly. Like you want to see what they have. Did they block the Gotenks? Do they have enough? Okay, cool. Let's go with the KO that my opponent doesn't know in hand, and then my opponent will at least be somewhat surprised and be like, "Oh man, I didn't think he had a follow up." Let me just dedicate all these cards to his Gotenks because it might kill me. You know, I mean, you have lethal on board already. Be right back.
All right, see, that's what Anthony can do here. A lot of options that he can do. Obviously, you know, Anthony, again, like we always say with Vegeta, small novel in his hand, plenty of cards in hand to be able to stop this. However, again, guys, one of the keys to beating Vegeta, if you can make them use their combo cards on your turn, you're taking away not only their aggression, but you're taking away their hand as well. So it's like a double-edged sword for Anthony. He has to use these combo cards to stay alive, but he has to use the cards. He has to use cards that aren't going to be amazing on defense or offense the next turn, because it looks like with this current setup, Anthony's going to have to win this turn or be in a really, really tough situation going into the next round or next match. All right, let's see if Anthony decides to play an energy here. My guess is not. I mean, very rarely do you want to ever go to 5 energy with Vegeta, but he does. He goes to 5. Eddie St. Hilaire's famous words: "So if I go to 5 energy, I'm sad immediately." I can see why. It's just a card you have to use out of your hand. It does give him a little bit more aggression here, though. But we'll see what happens. All right, guys, give me 1 second. All right, guys, sorry about that. We had one of the Puerto Rican players walked up and talked to me. Alex, he's you laugh at me, I know he is, but Figueroa? Yeah. It's pretty close? Okay, yeah, but he came up and talked to me, doing amazing at this event. Again, guys, we give that shout out to Puerto Rico. Just such an amazing group of players. They all came out. We had, I think, 4 players here today. How many did you guys have in Orlando?
Oh, there was a couple in Orlando, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, it's I think it was again around 4 or 5 again in Orlando. A couple of them actually made top cut. Just an amazing group of guys. Give you a shout out. Like I talk about, guys, it's awesome to see this game just spreading to to different communities that don't normally we don't. I would never know who Alex is ever, and this game has brought us together, and it's just fantastic. So again, Alex, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir, and having a wonderful day. Definitely have a safe trip back home, by the way. Definitely. I said have a safe trip back home. Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, so it's just awesome. This game is just amazing, guys. I love it. Again, guys, sorry, I feel like this game has been a catastrophe. We had the stream go down the middle of it. Haven't talked about the game hardly at all. I apologize, but we're gonna get back on track here for round top 8 here, hopefully. But yeah, Alex, just such a great guy. All the Puerto Rican guys are just a great guy. Is Puerto Rico do you? How do you? I'm gonna ask the guys here beside me because I'm actually not sure how to do this. How do you talk about Puerto Rico? Because it's part of America, right? Yeah. So, right, but you don't say Puerto Rico isn't its own country, though, right?
I believe it's considered.
It's a territory. It's like a U.S. territory.
Right. So you would say it's you know what I mean? So it's it's hard to how do you classify it? You know what I mean?
You're Puerto Rican, but you're still an American.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I talk about Europe, I'm it's really cool to see our game move to another country. If we're talking about Puerto Rico, it's not I say right. Yeah, it's exactly. It's It's I don't want to insult anyone. I feel like I still do though somehow, but I don't mean to. All right. Lot of graveyard looking here. A lot of discard pile shuffling here, trying to figure out exactly what to do. Anthony Christian going in for 30 here. 40. I think Christian smells some blood in the water here, boys. Let's see if Anthony has a way to stop this attack. And that's game number 2.
Game number 2, Christian takes it, finally putting pressure on his opponent and closing out a really withdrawn game. I mean, I've never seen somebody at 1 for
so long.
Turns.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch it over to the commentary here real quick. All right, guys. Going into game 3 here. Honestly, guys, this round is coming to a close here.
Looks like they might be in end of match procedures.
Well, they have a time extension.
They do.
So yeah, so I think they have the full 6 minutes, so they're gonna have at least 10 more minutes to play. Though, honestly, guys, sudden death rules don't play very favorably to Vegeta players.
They do not.
As it turns out, the sudden death rules are at the end of time, at the end of rounds or turns, whoever has the least amount of life loses.
Yep.
And so, Vegeta obviously being a self-damaging leader, that's pretty devastating. What Christian can do here is honestly, and if I would do this if I was Christian, I would sideboard out almost all my extra cards as like objections, everything that's not defensive, and I would literally just play a super defensive game right now.
Yes.
I would try to mulligan for Sensu Beans, Friezas, anything that can help me be defensive, and I would never take a life.
Yeah.
And I would force Vegeta to have to take lives and try to pressure me, and I would just defend the whole time. I just defend, and just try to win and the sudden death procedure.
You do have to play differently.
Right.
It's good that you touch on that. I mean, this is sudden death. This is not like a random match procedures in like a Swiss tournament. These are top cut out of match procedures.
Because you can't have a draw. You can't have a draw in top cut, obviously.
Can't have a draw, obviously. So you're going to play a lot differently. I don't know if they're allowed to side deck here. Normally, if you're in time and like it hits time and you finish the round and now it's 1-1 and now you're in sudden death, you cannot side deck.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if these players had an opportunity to side deck, additionally side deck. They obviously side decked after game 1, but it really just depends if they were able to do that or not. But if they weren't, then, which I would assume, which is why both of these guys weren't able to side deck yet. But like Dusty said, it really just, you need to play a different way. You need to be able to make sure that you play in according to the new rules that you're pretty much handed. And they're not like regular rules, obviously. They're end-of-match procedures, and it's sudden death. So, as Mecha Frieza, usually you're not in a good position either, because you can't play your Monakas, you can't play your objections, you can't play your extra deck cards as freely as you normally would. But, at least Vegeta has the, they both have an option.
I got to switch over. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Actually, somebody just walked over and gave me their phone and wants me to try to use their mobile hotspot. So
yeah, MVP. We're gonna try that.
I'm gonna let George kind of take it away, and I'm gonna see if I can get this set up.
Go ahead. I'll be lonely here, but I'll try to. I'm pretty sure I can move. Hopefully.
And then immediately I can't get into his phone because it's thin.
All right, go chase him down.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we did have Christian try to resolve an objection here, even though it's going to take a life from Christian's life. The thing is, you want to advance your board state here. You want to get as far ahead of your opponent as possible. That way you can have a little bit more time to pressure them with your big threats. Now, you have Kale at your disposal. You have energy boosted Gotenks, and you have Super Saiyan Gotenks. But it's hard to believe that Christian will even get to that 5 energy point to play that Super Saiyan Gotenks. I think Anthony also very well knows that he's in time, and he's going to play accordingly. So 2 very powerful filters down for Anthony, and now a third in the form of Manipulating God Champa, which is going to find him the Furthering Destruction Champa right off the top of the deck right there. And that's going to spell some trouble for Christian. Christian should be at 7, so let me try to fix that.
What's your password?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what we're going to let you know.
Nice.
Nice security.
Yeah, security.
I don't care.
True.
Usually on me.
All right. So Christian down to 7, and I believe Anthony down to 5 here. So let me go down. Sorry, now it's the Machado one-man show, and I'm definitely not as fluent as Dusty, so you're just going to have to deal with this.
Sorry, guys. I think
No, you're good.
Let me see.
There we go. Oh, no, 4 now. 4 now.
Yeah.
So Anthony here, I think taking a life.
Sorry, I know this is like...
No problem.
Guys, I'm sorry. This matchup's I'm destroyed. I'm sorry. I apologize.
This matchup's it's not even going on YouTube anymore. We're just...
All right, let's see what happens. Nice. Looking good. All right, we'll finish this up, and then I think we can get to work afterwards. So.
We're almost done. Anyways,
Yeah,
we're almost
I'm
done.
sorry.
Yeah,
So what's the life stat? Where we at?
All right, so we're at 4 for Anthony, and we're still good at 7 for Christian. So we got to move Anthony down 1 more.
Yeah, it looks like it's Christian. Well, no, Christian has kept objection in the deck.
Yes, he did, and he
Interesting.
resolved it. He resolved it turn 1.
So he actually used it.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like that cannot be the right play. I think as Christian, you just want to play as defensively as
That's
possible.
what I'm saying,
Play
yeah.
for sudden death. Right, exactly. It just seems...
But then at the same time, Anthony kept critting himself. So I think Christian saw that, and he was like, well, my opponent's going to go super far ahead of me anyways. So why don't I just, also try to leap myself ahead? And I think it's okay at that point. I think it's either Anthony doesn't go and start critting himself, and then you just charge the objection, or you see Anthony on the trying to draw more cards, trying to flip over as soon as possible,
Right.
then you just go. So I'm actually also not even 100% sure if they're in time, to be honest.
Yeah,
Because I think that time is for the 1K.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they might not
So
be. Well,
they might
I think
not
they have
even
like an
be
hour.
in
They
time.
actually have like an hour and a half.
We'll check. No. So actually, we're gonna have our runner go and check on that for us, just to make sure, because there was a timer available to us, but I believe that was just for the 1K.
Right.
So
That's true. Actually, yeah. So they might.
Yeah.
It actually might be completely different. We'll try that. I think we might be live now.
oh, and we're back.
We might be. We'll see.
I can check on my phone right quick.
Yeah.
10 seconds. Okay, so they're about to hit time, guys.
All right, guys. We're checking out. See if we're live now.
Oh, you posted the same thing I did. I was like, what
That's
the hell?
the true team right there.
True
We posted the
team.
exact same thing. All right, guys.
crazy.
Here we go. 4 to 7. It looks like they're about to go into time. About going into time. Pretty bad for the Vegeta player. Looks like I think what they did is they're about to go into time. They just took the time, asked each other, what does it look like? How does sudden death work? Again, guys, at the end of the turns, it's whoever has the least amount of life loses. Again, pretty devastating situation to be in as Anthony. All right, Anthony going to use the 10K boost to go to 25K double strike. All right, so stop it. Or no, wait, is it the first person that does damage? That's what it is. It's the first, in sudden death, it's the first person to do damage. It's not whoever has less amount of life,
You
right?
sure? No, it's less life.
Oh, it's tied life. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's tied life, yeah. Tied life is definitely the...
I can't, because every time I've been in sudden death with Peter, we started in sudden death, so I can't remember exactly. Still 4-7. Anthony, it's Christian here. Playing down energy here this turn. Needs to find a way to do some damage, but really can't afford to use a crit on himself, I feel like, because he's going to make the gap even larger. It's going to be very difficult. How's the stream working, guys? Are we back on? Is it working?
I believe so.
Take a look and see if it's working or not. It actually might not be. See what happens here.
The ad is resolving, so maybe...
If the ad's working, that's all that matters, right? Twitch is happy if that ad's working.
The ad's working with a top hit of 0 watchers. 42 viewers, and it looks like we are live.
Let's see, it looks like we might be dropping a lot of
But, yeah.
frames. Let's try our best here.
As a friendly reminder, you're the winner of your match. Bring the slip up. Do not hand your slip to a judge unless one time. Once again, winners, bring your slip to the stage.
Chris trying to add up his hand, see what he wants to do here. Currently at 6 life, by the way, guys. 6-4. If he takes this double strike attack from Mass Sand, he'll be even 4-4. He's actually a 5 here.
Yes,
He's actually a
but,
4. He's a 4. Okay, he's a 4 life.
yes, but with lag.
Okay, so it's lagging?
Yep. Y'all using a potato. Yes, we are using a potato.
Yeah, it's
we
actually-
found a
we
potato
found a
outside,
potato.
and that was the only way to bring us back.
Okay, we're going to stop it, and then we'll fix it in between. You're right. We'll finish up this game, and then we'll figure it out.
How are you doing it?
Huh?
How are you doing it?
What do you
Can
mean?
we just link it up the same way that you were doing it?
That's what we try to do here,
Oh,
but I don't
okay.
know, like, he must not be, I don't know, we'll figure it out. So it's 4-4. This is actually a huge deal. They're actually tied up now. So once they go into end of turn procedures, they'll go turn, and at the end of that, if they're tied, it's the first person that does
Yes.
damage. So that's actually, you would imagine that in that scenario, it's going to be probably a little bit favored for Vegeta.
Yeah, just throw everything. Throw your Boo, throw your
Yeah, just go all in.
Gowasu,
everything,
throw
yeah.
your anything, and just try to get there. And hopefully Christian doesn't get too greedy here and tap out or any like
Any shenanigans like that, right?
Yeah.
You just want to be super defensive.
Yes. I'm sure he's gotten the flow of it at this point. I mean, I think he played game 2 well.
I think so too. Yeah, I think he did. I think
So-
Anthony dropped the ball a little bit on that.
Yeah,
pitch. I
just
think,
a little
think Anthony,
bit,
But again,
I think
Anthony
so.
not knowing what was in hands, that actually matters a lot.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, here you go.
But Christian did a good job of like leaving, energy open, which is what you just want to do. Whether you have response or not, just having the energy open is just.
I think actually
always
Anthony,
puts
I think
doubts
Anthony
in your
has to
head.
take this hit. I think Anthony just goes, "Yep, you hit me." Like I don't think he can afford to block this. I think he has to take it, put 2 cards in his hand, and then just try to beat his opponent. Right? I mean, is that incorrect? I just feel like he can't. Like, can he afford to use combos to like stop this? This is a huge hit. He has to use. I guess he's going to go for it. I don't know. What do you think, George? Is that right?
I mean, if he has 10 Ks, that's fine because it's technically
You're
just
not
giving up
losing
a
a card?
5K. Yeah,
Right.
you're just losing 1 card.
Yeah, but
And Anthony's probably going to want to crit himself next turn. just because he wants to see an extra card. That Piccolo technically sees him an extra card too, so...
Sure.
But he's going to have to throw a real card, and that's where it's going to hurt. But to block a 25k double striker, not too bad.
No. Christain only having 2 energy open here.
Yeah, you see he had to overblock there.
Yeah.
He had to go up to 35 when he only really needed to get to 30. He had to use a Mass Saiyan. Maybe he has too many overwhelms in hand.
Maybe
he has another.
we can't quite see Anthony's hand, but I really
find it hard to believe that he doesn't have another overwhelm card though. He would have to have another Mass
Your opponent's
Saiyan,
at 4 life. He has 2 energy open. I think you take 2 there. You take it. You get critical, and you just try to kill him. If you're Anthony, I think
he can do that.
I think he can do it. I really do. I mean, like we see his hand. He has like objection hand. He does have like Dodora and stuff, which stinks. But I think Anthony could have got there. Again, we're just kind of briefly seeing his hands, so it's possible that they have
briefly,
something.
Briefly. We don't have any notes down here or anything like that.
All right, here we go. Another Mass Saiyan down his energy. I think you're right. Negate. 4 to 4 still, that's huge. What Anthony really needs here, like honestly, just like a Mass Saiyan would be ridiculous. All right, Anthony gonna go 1-drop Champa to get 1-drop Champa. I wish I could see Anthony's hand, because Anthony charges a Mass Saiyan here, and that almost tells me that he has another Mass Saiyan in hand.
Another one?
He almost
He
has
just
to.
comboed with one.
Yeah, I know. He comboed with one, he played one's energy, but I almost feel like he has to have another one.
Is he just going in
There's
with this
another
Champa?
Mass Saiyan. This must be turn for... This is turn.
That has to be his final turn.
This is the final turn of the game. It has to be, right?
Well,
it has to
it might be Christian's final. I mean, like, it might be... It's either the last turn of time or Christian's the last.
It has to be the last turn. It has to be. Because if not, like, why would you do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just saying, okay, I'm just going to deal 2 damage to you. And if I do, I win because you have less damage to me. That has to be what's happening here. There it is. Yeah, Anthony got it. Shoo.
Wow.
Right?
Yep, that was the last turn of time, and Vegeta doing what Vegeta does, just throwing its hand onto the table and just like completely outcompeting your opponent. I mean, making it so that they have to throw like a million different cards to try to even like survive.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
That's what Anthony did. He recognized the opportunity. He knew that this was his only window.
And he took it.
And he went for it.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get here real quick. Again, you guys can see this because it's not live. But, guys, thank you on YouTube so much for watching. Sorry for that kind of poor commentary. I'm not going to lie. It was just bad commentary for me. We're trying to fix the stream, and then we got we're talking to people. We have, like, 2 phones. People just, like, donating phones to try to help us out.
Like, oh, does this work? Does this work?
Amazing. So we're going to try our best.
This one yet.
Yeah, we're going to try our best to get the stream back up and running for you guys. Again, I just reached my data max. Apologize.
Verizon just cut him off.
Yeah, Verizon. Thank you for letting us at least get to day 1. We appreciate that. Thank you so much, George. We'll see you guys for top 8 very shortly. So see you guys soon.